Thanks very much for joining me. As most of you know, the government has been shut down. Why? How do we reopen it? So let me say a few words on that. On the long-established Senate rules, it takes 60 votes to pass a continuing resolution to fund the government. The Republicans have 53 members in their caucus. Democrats have 47. Bottom line, as has been the case for decades, the two parties must negotiate to reach an agreement. But in an unprecedented manner, Republicans have refused to do that. They have refused to sit down and work out a bipartisan solution. In their view, it is their way or the highway, take it or leave it. And that's why the government has shut down. But this shutdown is far more important than just Senate process. At a time when the American healthcare system is deeply broken, we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee healthcare to all people. We pay the highest costs. Trump's big, beautiful bill will make that situation in healthcare even worse. As a result of that legislation, 15 million Americans will be thrown off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. Studies from Yale University and the University of Pennsylvania suggest that when you throw 15 million low-income and working-class people off of the health care they have, some 50,000 Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. Let me repeat that. I know it sounds amazing, but it is true, and it's understandable. If you're throwing 15 million low-income and working-class people, many of them with serious health problems, off their health care, they can't get to a doctor when they need to. It is not shocking to understand, or surprising to understand, that 50,000 of them will die unnecessarily every single year. That's what we're looking at. And then, on top of all that, the Republican bill also cuts tax credits for the Affordable Care Act. A study just came out yesterday from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a nonprofit healthcare organization, and its findings are pretty clear. Within the next several months, healthcare premiums for 20 million Americans on the Affordable Care Act will double. Got that? Double. So you think that right now you're paying an outrageous amount for health care, and you are. And right now you can't afford health care, and many of you can't. Under the Republican proposal, your premiums will, on average, double. This is insane. It is unacceptable. In other words, instead of lowering health care costs, instead of adding more people to health care, cutting back on the number of people who are uninsured or underinsured, what Trump's legislation does is make a terrible situation much worse. So don't get confused. I know there's a lot of stuff in the media, and a lot of people in both political parties are arguing with each other and blaming each other. But to me, what is going on is really not complicated. And that is, if we do what the Republicans want us to do and pass a clean CR with no input at all from the opposition, if we just do that, 15 million Americans will lose their health insurance and tens of thousands will die unnecessarily every single year. If we pass the Republican legislation, your premiums will likely double in the very, very near future. Needless to say, I do not intend to support the Republican proposal. Thanks very much.